want to stay on tariffs as Dom introduced them and talk about who they're impacting, because it's not investors, it's farmers across the country. They are already feeling the effects. One crop being hit the hardest right now, soybeans. Prices have hit a 10-year low, dropping $2 a bushel since the tariff threat began in the spring. NBC's Vaughn Hilliard is at a soybean and corn farm in Wahoo, Nebraska. Vaughn, walk us through this, how that price is affecting those farmers, because they're the ones who definitely care the most.
Stephanie, to put it in perspective, the largest export crop here in the United States is soybeans, $24 billion in exports a year alone. The next biggest crop after that is corn at just $9 billion. I want to bring in Doug Bartek. He's a farmer here in Wahoo. We're about an hour outside of Omaha. How many acres of soybeans do you farm a year?
We produce 1,000 acres of soybeans.
Third generation family?
Yes.
Now, when we talk about soybeans, when we talk about this impact, what is the price of soybeans right now?
Price of soybeans right now is around $8 a bushel.
And what do you need in order to make a profit?
We need a strong $10 to be able to maintain and sustain our farming operation.
And so what should people in Washington, D.C. understand right now about what you're going through?
Well, right now it's a lot of pain that we're going through. Without higher prices, it's hard for us to sustain what we're doing. New farmers that are trying to get in, it just won't work for them. They'll go backwards and then they'll be out of business before they started.
Doug, just before we flew out and met you here, we talked to Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska, your Republican senator, and we asked him the question, does the administration understand what you're going through? Stephanie, this is what he told us.
Do you feel like or where's the disconnect? Do you feel like the White House understands the concerns of soybean farmers and others in Nebraska who have shared their own concerns with you?
No. I'm here with a bunch of farmers and ranchers right now. These folks, I'm a historian by training, so I'm skeptical of hyperbole, but literally they live on the most productive land in all of human history, and in Nebraska we grow more food than we could ever possibly consume. If we don't have export markets to sell that food into, you got bankruptcies coming all across my state, and no, the administration does not understand it.
Doug, what the senator just said was essentially saying that the administration did not understand what your plight is, what you're going through. At the same time, the senator also told us that there is frustration, that China, for instance, in intellectual property has essentially stolen hundreds of billions of dollars every year. You were somebody who voted for the president, and you wanted action against China to be taken. Now, what is your message to the White House?
Well, the message is if we can get these tariffs taken care of in a timely manner, because every day that these tariffs hang around, it just hurts what we've been trying to do for the last 25, 30 years, which is trying to build policy and get doors open in these foreign countries to accept our soybeans, because it's a great source of protein for animals and just a lot of uses for it.
Now, Stephanie, the Vice President Pence just 2 days ago said that the U.S. is prepared against China to go essentially toe-to-toe and issue additional tariffs. They're threatening more than $200 billion more on Chinese imported goods from here. Soybeans are already taking the hit. The question is, where does this go from here? And, for instance, your crops are going to be coming up when?
In September is when we generally start harvesting soybeans.
2 months from now.
2 months from now.
Stephanie?
All right, Vaughn, all eyes on these tariffs. We often talk about it in market perspective, how Wall Street is responding, but you have to go to those farmers. Remember remember where many of those soybeans are accustomed to going, China. Where's China getting them now? Brazil.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.